Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Myself, Terry Foster.
Good day, everybody.
Samuel Fisher. By the way, happy belated birthday, Fish.
Thank you, sir.
That was fun. I hope you enjoyed your weekend.
It was a good weekend. A lot of sports. I got up early on Sunday morning. How do you not? As normal. You guys missed a great football game on Sunday, by the way. God, how do you not?
What game?
It's Collingwood and Carlton.
Shut the hell up, Fish.
Absolute incredible game.
It's 8:01 in the morning.
Collingwood and Carlton.
Yeah, they were down 16 at the end of the third.
That sounds like two countries, buddy.
They're not two countries.
Is this Division 4?
Division 7 football, God knows, over in Europe.
It's Division
Love
1.
you, Fish. Terry, how was your weekend?
I had a wonderful Saturday.
Okay.
I got to do what I wanted to do. I got out of work.
Good.
But Sunday, I holed down and cleaned up this storage area that's been a little bit dirty. And in fact, I found some stuff in there. I gave it to the little Piston boys who float around here.
Are they happy about that?
Jazzy Jeff, I gave him a Pistons bag that I was given about, it had to be like 30 years ago.
Wow.
He was thrilled with it.
Oh.
It's going to be his new computer bag. That's what he said, but maybe he'll throw it away.
Nah, I'll make sure he uses it.
Well, you can't make sure he uses. He's a grown man.
Well,
Fish,
but I'll just
you
see
can't
if
get
he's
yourself to drink. You're going to make other people do something else?
Oh, you know what? Fish officially is not from the planet Earth.
Oh, okay.
What happened?
I found out this weekend he's never been to a concert. Ever.
I don't think I've ever been to a concert.
Oh, baloney.
I kind of went to one on
swear.
Friday, but
You've never been. No,
I don't think I've ever been to a concert.
You have been to a concert.
I don't think so. I'm trying to remember. I don't think I've ever been to a concert.
I mean, I was kind of at one Friday, but I don't have.
Everybody's been to a concert.
I don't have any interest
I mean,
in concerts.
like where? What qualifies as a concert? Like at
a concert
LCA?
is
Anyone
guys singing.
Yeah,
or
anyone
women
playing in a
singing
live band.
with guitars.
I went to
or,
a Steve Aoki performance.
Or
There we go.
horns
I think
or
the Fillmore.
music.
Yeah, okay, I guess that counts.
That
Does
counts.
it? But it's not a concert, right? I thought
What?
the idea of a concert's like, you know,
It's not karaoke.
like a stadium feel.
It could be a stadium,
Yeah.
arena. It could be outdoors.
yeah, it could be just like a grass hill.
Yeah, the hell if I know. I don't think I've ever been to a concert. I
I
really
think
don't.
something at the Fillmore would count.
Why am I
though.
with these losers,
Does
man?
something at the Fillmore count? Yes. or
Yes.
no?
Yes.
All right.
Fillmore
Yes.
is a concert.
I get one
venue.
thing. That was my one thing in life.
But
Yeah.
Fish's concert does not
Soundboard.
count.
What,
Pine
Friday
Knob.
doesn't count?
No.
So
Me
what,
and Fish are
so
more
what-
alike than we realize.
So what would you call Friday then? Just a
Well,
performance?
It's a concert, but I don't know.
Now,
It
Westphal,
doesn't-
have you
doesn't
been to a
count.
concert?
What?
Have you been to a concert?
I mean,
I
look at
have.
his physique. Of course he's been there.
Yeah.
Not a
I
ton.
figured
but
everybody's
a
been
few.
to a concert.
100%, except me.
Unless you're like 12 or 13 and mom won't let you go or something.
I'd never been to like a legitimate concert, you know.
No. You have been to one. The
I don't
Fillmore
think it counts. He's not giving me credit over
I
here.
said it counts.
He said
All
it
right,
counts.
Whatever. The Lions beat the
Jeez.
Colts on Saturday, 27-26, in what was actually a really impressive performance from their defensive front. Terry, takeaways, we should say early takeaways from the game. It's their first preseason win under Dan Campbell. Their first win, and I want to say their last 8 or 9 games. They haven't won a preseason game in a minute.
Right. I hate to be a broken record, but here's what I take away from that game. Absolutely nothing. It was the second stringers, and these games are not about trying to discover if the Lions are going to be good or bad or mediocre. These are games that you play to find out who's going to be your depth, who can you count on if some of your starters are gone. This game to me is who are you going to keep, David Blau or Boyle?
Yeah, but you mentioned the keyword depth, and I thought the Lions had a lot more depth than even the Indianapolis Colts did at times, especially on the defensive line.
Right.
The Colts have the talent, right? They have the high-end talent.
But you also have to figure out who you're going to keep and who you're going to
Absolutely.
let go. These are like job interviews.
Yeah, I mean, you have Tom Kennedy put out another preseason performance. You know, there's a few things
on
in
the
life
roster.
that will never fail you. Tyler Huntley of the Ravens, whenever he starts in the preseason, absolute baller. And Tom Kennedy balling in the preseason. Those two things are a fact given always. Always. And my takeaway was the defensive line was really good. I thought for the first time in a long time, and we'll get to that coming up at 8:15, which is depth. Like, this is actually different. We're not accustomed to seeing this team have potential depth. What made the 2014 team so good? Well, they had a lot of talent, right? What killed them? Injuries. There was no depth. And depth plays a big role in the NFL. And I think what Brad Holmes has done in short order has been nothing but impressive. But my takeaway from the preseason game, the backup quarterback battle is definitely probably one of the most intriguing situations going on.
It is, but, it's like 6 of one, half dozen other. You can get rid of both of them as far as I'm concerned, but one of them's going to keep. And I can't figure out who. I mean, David Blau, I think, has looked a little bit better, but he turns the ball over.
The thing with David Blau that frustrates me is, in a preseason game, I'm not really looking for you to showcase your mobility. Like, that's nice and all, but these are second, third stringers you're going up against, right? And I want to see you drive the ball down the field. That's what I want. That's what I want to see from a potential backup quarterback. I got that out of Boyle. Boyle steps in, 12 of 15, has a good day. David Blau, 16 of 22, touchdown, interception. But this is the key stat for me, and I'll never get over this. David Blau, 16 completions. 16. Take a crack at how many yards he threw for.
5. No, it was something stupid. It was like 110.
No, I wish. 76 yards on 16 completions.
Yeah, that's
3.5 yards of completion.
That's not showing me anything.
Like, what does that do for me? Oh, well, he can escape the pocket. He can maneuver. Okay, I'll take that with a grain of salt here. You're not driving the ball down the field. And then I look at Tim Boyle, 12 of 15, 100 yards, 1 touchdown, 6.5 yards of completion.
Well, that's your guy.
That's how I'm looking at it. I don't see anything special between the two. There's not a significant difference, but I think throwing the football, Tim Boyle is much more ready, I would say, for that backup position. But they both played fine. I thought Tim Boyle had a really good showing, though.
Right. So we're still not going to go Mason Rudolph. Unnecessary.
I don't think you trade for any player in the NFL right now to back up Jared Goff. There's no point. There's no point. If Jared Goff, for any reason, we talked about this before, if he goes down, there is no reason to salvage your season. No reason at all. Jared Goff goes down week 4, week 5, and you're sitting there at 1-4, 2-3, or 3-2. That's it, season over either way. There's no quarterback that's going to come in mid-season, get traded, learn the system, and have you actually win 7, 8, 9 games. It's just not going to happen. You might as well be ready to move on. And we'll get to Jared Goff a little later, what he needs to do to stay here. Getting injured definitely isn't one of them. Definitely isn't one of them. But at the end of the day, there's not many teams in the NFL that can overcome their starting quarterback being out.
True. But
I think we're making a bigger deal of this backup situation.
The Lions are probably going to keep 2 quarterbacks instead of 3, as they did last year.
Which is fine.
As we stand here today, right now, Monday morning, who are you keeping? Blau or Boyle?
Right now, I'd keep Tim Boyle. I think he has more juice in his arm. I think I can rely on him to make the right throws down the field. The problem is they're both turnover machines. They both just can't help but turn the ball over. Which is why you never want to have a backup in the first place. I don't even want to talk about the backups this morning. I really don't. But you have to.
Yes.
But you have to. And, again, for any reason this team is ever starting a game with Tim Boyle or David Blau or Jesus or Moses or anybody, they're not going to win. They're just not.
Now, did Boyle start the game?
No, Blau did.
Blau started the game.
Blau did get the start.
For the last game, I would switch it. Have Boyle start first and then Blau start the second half.
I think, it's funny. I did mention the defensive line improving. I really couldn't believe what I was watching at times, but Austin Bryant and company really showed out. They accounted for, I believe, 2 of the 3 sacks that the team had, 10 tackles. It was impressive. The run defense was really good.
Austin Brown
much
was very
improved.
good.
But boy, did they get torched in the air. They got absolutely torched, whether it was Nick Foles, Jack Cohn, or Sam Ehlinger. They all went to town. Jeff Okudah played, I believe 2 series, and then he was done for the day, and that's probably the last you'll see him all preseason. But, curious for tomorrow's episode of Hard Knocks, curious to see what they pulled. Takeaways from Dan Campbell, we'll learn a little more, I would say, later today. Around 1:15, 2 o'clock, we'll get comments from him, but for me, Terry, the biggest takeaway was the defensive front really stepped up, improved over last week. The run defense was really good. I thought both backup quarterbacks made cases for themselves, but you can't average 3.5 yards of completion and expect me to take you seriously. What are we doing? Come on. There has to be like a number where, the coaches are sitting there Monday morning looking at the box score, going over all their notes, and I really like what David Blau did. All right, here's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then look at the box score and say, those are my notes during the game. What the hell did I miss? 16 to 22, 76 yards.
That's pee-wee football.
Terry, that is like some next level doing nothing. There's a reason the game started off 6-6 for both teams with 2 field goals apiece. The ball wasn't moving. I thought Tim Boyle did a good job coming in. You know who was a standout player for me? Very under the radar. And almost guarantees that Jamar Jefferson will get cut, and that's Justin Jackson. They did pick him up, and he was explosive, man. 7.5 yards a carry, just over that. He was explosive all game. And it was good to watch.
Jefferson was in trouble before, but now he's really in trouble.
He's done. There's no chance. And I look at the rushing totals. That was the story of the game for me, really. 33 carries for the Detroit Lions, 174 yards, 5 yards a pop. The Colts, 18 attempts, 30 yards, 1.7 yards an attempt. I mean, that's everything. The longest gain by a Colts running back was 5 yards. Think about that.
It's not good. But once again, I think you're looking too deep into this whole thing. These are guys that are not going to play.
I understand,
this year.
But you want to see the depth players go out and perform. And I thought defensively they did a really damn good job, at least stopping the run.
Yeah. I also disagree with something Dan Campbell says it was very important to win. No, it's not. It's not important to win a preseason game. Now, it might get guys yucking it up a little bit more after the game, but this game will be forgotten pretty soon. It will not carry over until week 1. And a lot of the guys who are celebrating this victory won't even be with the Lions in September. So I just don't think these games mean anything as far as wins or losses. You are trying to figure out what you've got depth-wise, and you're trying to figure out who you're going to send on their merry way. That's all this is about. And we fall into the trap of, the Lions won this game. No, they didn't. They had more points in Indianapolis, but we make a big deal out of a game that's decided in the fourth quarter, even if the starters played. Let's say the starters played.
Yep.
When this game is being decided, the starters got on their baseball caps. Obviously, they're not going to look at the scoreboard or mean mug it to their family because Dan Campbell said that's not allowed. But basically, these guys are chilling out, smiling, relaxing, cheering on their teammates. That's why I don't put much stock.
Yeah, look, the win, quote, doesn't matter. It actually doesn't. It's a preseason game. Hell, we've had coaches come out and say joint practices offer more than preseason games, but you don't typically like to get in the habit of losing. Granted, winning all these games don't mean anything, right? We've seen the team go 4-0, then 0-16. But, again, I think it's important every once in a while to remind yourself what winning looks like, what it feels like. You know, it's a better locker room atmosphere, even if it is a preseason game.
You're talking about for bad teams. Because do you think Bill Belichick is okay, how are we going to win this game?
No, but you have John Harbaugh, who they won last night again. What is it, 22, 23 straight preseason games now? Yeah, I don't take stock into either way. I just think from a communication standpoint, when you're a head coach and you're delivering a message, you don't want to sit there and go winless in a preseason. Granted, it's, quote, meaningless, but it's good for the players.
I think it just means more for the coaches than the players. Because for the coaches, no matter who's on the field, you got to coach them through a game. They put me and you out there. They got to coach us through a game.
Yeah.
So I think for Dan Campbell and his coaching staff, it means more because they figured out a way to outmaneuver the Colts coaching staff by 1 point.
All right. Well, look, I'll tell you what. We are going to take a quick break. When we get back, we will discuss why the Lions, Terry. I'll tell you why they're different this time. I really took away a lot more than I thought I would in a second preseason game. Had nothing to do with the win. We'll get to that in just a bit. But before we do, I got to tell you about our good friends over at The Mulligan and Gypsy Vodka. The Mulligan is the official drink of the summer. Make sure you try it out today. Of course, whether you're on the golf course with Fish over the weekend celebrating his birthday, or you're having a barbecue with myself and Terry, The Mulligan is the right choice no matter where you are. Iced tea, lemonade, Gypsy Vodka mixed. Make sure you're supporting local. As always, please drink responsibly.
Hey, this is Mr. Kearney, Chief Academic Officer, Academy of Warren. I want to welcome you to the brand new field house. The state-of-the-art facility has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, soccer field. It can be used for 7-on-7 football. Our K-8 academic features AM, PM latchkey, small classroom sizes, learning street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Holton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, K-8 athletics, and more. Enroll today at academywarren.net.
Ciabattas, summer salads, and dip shakes. All at Big Boy. Try a chicken club, chicken cordon bleu, or sunrise ham and cheddar. All on our grilled ciabatta bread. Or keep it light with our Michigan apple, chicken Caesar, or Greek salad. And don't forget to cool off with a frosty hand-dipped cookies and cream or strawberry shake. You heard it here first. Summer just got better.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
Our lovely people at Chili Pepper Tan join the Pepper Club today. Chili Pepper Tanning, they'll get you all the best deals. Plus, they'll beat your all competitors by $5. Chili Peppers has the hottest balls, hottest deals in the darkest tans in 26 locations across the beautiful state of Michigan. More on the way. Chili Peppers Tan today. Chili Peppers Tan. Boop.
All right, we're back here on the Morning Woodward Show. Terry Foster, myself, Samuel Fisher, Alex Westfall. What's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in on YouTube and TikTok. The Lions, Terry. Let me tell you why they're different this time. I have noticed now this is quite the pattern, which is they're different. They're different in my lifetime than what I've seen. So hear me out a little bit before you.
Okay, I want to hear
before
this.
you hit me upside the head.
No, I'm just gonna poo-poo you, but go ahead.
I think we're both bought into the idea of who Brad Holmes is, right? What he's done so far, his ability to maneuver with the salary cap. But I see three things that just stand out for me. So far, depth. When's the last time you've associated depth with the Detroit Lions? It's been a minute.
1492. Maybe not even then.
The way Brad Holmes has come in to taking over a pretty pathetic roster and not only transitioned and overhauled it, but also was very conscious of the salary cap and has now put this team in a position where the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years they can go out and spend as they like, and they'll be able to sign their players and keep their players. So those are two things so far that I can get behind. I think you've seen it, right? But there's one thing you don't see, but you believe it's there, and that's direction. And I think this team has a direction. I think they have an identity. And when I look at some of the best teams in the NFL, some of the better ran teams in the NFL, Baltimore, Pittsburgh, hell, even New England back in the day with Brady and Belichick. You look at Kansas City now. You look at the Bengals right now. You look at, honestly, the Rams. All these teams, they have a direction. They have an identity. They have a GM in place who is sitting with the coach, on the same page with the coach, making sure that they're giving them everything they need. They are maneuvering the salary cap. You can pay Patrick Mahomes a 10-year, $500 million contract, whatever it ended up being. No problem. We're good. We can trade Tyreek Hill. No problem. We're good. there is direction, there's an identity, there's depth on the team, and there's an innate ability to just believe in the GM that you have in place. And if I told you 2 years from now, what would this roster look like? I think we both agree and say it would look better than what it is now. It would have more talent. The talent that Brad Holmes had drafted are up and coming, if not solidified stars in the game. Whether you want to look at Aiden Hutchinson, Penei Sewell, whoever it may be. You have those pieces, along with whoever else he'll bring in, who knows, notable free agents. Potentially down the line, maybe adopting the Rams mentality, where they trade their first-round picks. I don't know. It's too far in advance, but what I do know is there is a direction. And I think for the first time in a long time, Terry, I don't want to say I'm on pilot mode with the Lions, where I'm just letting it be, but I'm very confident in what they're doing. I really am. And they've earned that confidence. Now, do they need to go out and win football games? Absolutely. Winning is the ultimate currency in the NFL. That's it. There's nothing else but winning. But you need one of these three pieces at any time to be successful. You need the quarterback, you need the head coach, and you need the GM. Right now, you're stable at quarterback with, I would say, a middle-of-the-pack guy in Jared Goff.
But you don't have your guy there yet.
But you don't have your guy, no. But we've seen you can win in this league with just average. You don't know if you have your head coach. So that you can leave it as a question mark for now. You'd like to believe you do, but you don't know. And then, of course, the GM. And you have a GM. I think it's very clear, not only to everybody in town, but outside of Detroit. Brad Holmes is legit. That's how a GM operates in the NFL. That's how you sign players to, short-term, non-committal contracts. I believe the longest duration contract he gave was to Jamal Williams for 2 years. Cutting all the players that are basically worthless to this football team. Building an identity within the trenches. His first draft, back-to-back defensive tackles, after drafting an offensive lineman in the first round. And then in his second draft, defensive edge, wide receiver, edge. What do you know? 2 of the most 3-4 important positions in football that we talk about. Having a quarterback, protecting your quarterback, giving your quarterback weapons, getting after the opposing team's quarterback. Those are the 4 most important things to do in the NFL right now. And that's what he's focused on. He's got me bought in.
Now, we both agree that we don't know if you have the coach yet. What's your gut telling you? The gut doesn't always have to be right, but it's just...
Gut feeling?
Gut feeling.
Gut feeling, I think he can replicate Jim Schwartz or Jim Caldwell. I don't know if he can be greater than that. I don't. But gut feeling, I think he'll be able to pull off 8, 9, 10 wins in a given year. That's not going to make me happy. That's not going to put me through the roof. I want to see division titles. I want to see playoff wins, but I don't see him completely crashing out, if that makes sense. That's my gut feeling.
Right.
My gut feeling tells me Dan Campbell doesn't go out this year and go 4-13 or 5-12. I don't see it. I don't see it. Because it would go against everything they have built so far.
I also think, and gut feeling, that Dan Campbell is a guy that if he reaches a point and says, I can't do this, instead of being a stubborn guy and just trying to push through, he'll tell somebody else, I need you to do more in this area because it's not my strength. Or on the flip side, you know, bro, you're not what I thought you were. I'm not taking your title away, but I'm taking some responsibilities away.
Well, on a scale of 1 to 10, I think we would agree you're pretty high in terms of confidence with Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson, right? Mm-hmm. There's one thing Dan Campbell does have going for him is, well, he's put together quite the coaching staff. Lots of former players. Coaches that players respect. I think Aaron Glenn, Deuce Staley, that whole dynamic is fantastic, but you got what every team in the NFL basically wants and is hiring for, by the way. You look at the Brian Daboll hire, Nathaniel Hackett. This is just the start. It's been this way now for years. What does every team in the NFL want? An up-and-coming, young, offensive-minded coach. And they typically hire them to be their head coach. The Lions have that as their OC. They have exactly that. Young, up-and-coming, I would say a creative mind, offensive-minded coach. Ben Johnson. Check the box. The Lions are checking all the boxes of what you would say good to very good teams do. Hell, even great teams do at times. That's what they have at their core. Again, do I think Dan Campbell's the guy? I don't know. Gut feeling, I don't see him crashing out like most would expect. I don't.
Right. I think the impressive thing about the Lions is this is probably the only time I can think of where they're not doing everything that the league has already tried. Because the Lions' MO was, let's get a nice older guy that's been there and done that. And meanwhile, when they do that, other teams find that LaFleur or that other great coach that the Lions could have had, but they couldn't identify that that this guy would be great. I mean, I'm still pissed. They had a young Don Shula in their organization and let him go because they couldn't identify. They had Jerry Vinicius under their watch, who went and won a Super Bowl with the Chicago Bears. They have not been able to identify the next great thing. And now I think they've got a number of people who could be the next great thing. Ben Johnson, Deuce Staley,
Aaron
Glenn could be the next. I mean, they've got multiple candidates that can be that. Not all of them are going to hit, but
no, of course not.
You got that under
some
your
guys
umbrella.
are just really good coordinators, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Josh McDaniels, when he left Bill originally, went to Denver, flamed out completely. Came back, was one of the best, if not the best, offensive coordinator for a 7, 8, 10-year stretch. There are guys that are meant to be coordinators, guys that are meant to be assistants, guys that are meant to be players and coaches. And some, very few are meant to be head coaches. It's very difficult.
Yeah, that's true.
So you can see people like Jim Schwartz, by the way, who was a very good defensive coordinator. I would say very good. I wouldn't say elite or great, but he was one of the better ones. Didn't work out as a head coach. Okay, no problem with that.
Because he couldn't keep his cool.
That's a whole different problem. But whether it's Ben Johnson, Aaron Glenn, whoever moves on in the future, or if they stay in-house and they promote, who knows? But I think this is a different direction than what they've had. Different under Caldwell, different with Patricia, different with anyone prior, even Schwartz. Like there's a difference between working hard and working smart.
Yeah, it is, but it shows that you need that second guy. Schwartz, Caldwell, Mariucci, they all had clunkers as GMs. So even if they figured it out, they figured the whole team out and how to run it, they still weren't going to have 100%. They weren't going to have the talent to go big places.
What's unfortunate is if you want to look at Caldwell's time and say Caldwell was the right coach, right? Let's say that for argument's sake. I still think it was a massive failure because you have 2 out of the 3 things I always tell you, that's what you need to compete. If you give me these 3 things all at one given time, Super Bowl contender, I could guarantee it. GM, head coach, quarterback. And if Jim Caldwell was that guy, well then at one point you had 2 of the 3. And yes, Martin Mayhew, we all know, was a scrub. He wasn't the best GM, but that to me is more damning on what the Lions have experienced in the last 10, 12 years than anything.
Yeah, but you had the quarterback for 12 years, and he was failing no matter who the coach was. The other thing, and the Lions are unique this way. The other thing that you had to get rid of was that Lions losing culture. And I think it was Anthony Lynn kind of said it the other day. When you played for Georgia, did you think you're going to... No, you knew you're going to win every time you walked on that field. If you play for the Lions, you don't have that expectation. And that's one thing they've got to change. Because not only as a player, and I've talked to players about this, not only were they not confident they're going to win, they were confident they're going to compete, but they always knew in the back of their mind something stupid was going to happen in the last 3-4 minutes of a game. And if they had the game in their grasp, whether it was their fault or not, something was going to happen. I call it the boogeyman factor. The boogeyman was always there. They got to get that boogeyman out the locker room.
And you know how you do that? Winning.
Win. That's true.
You just have to win. Fish, if you could do us all a favor, tell everybody at home about our good friends over at the Sports Marketing Agency.
Sure, the Sports Marketing Agency helps spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their new podcast, This is the F Word, helps spread awareness of fentanyl and other addictions. Go to thesportsma.com if you are struggling or know someone who is.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
Detroit's downtown summer playground is back. Open all summer long, the Monroe Street Midway. Enjoy roller skating, free Wi-Fi, food trucks, art installations, and so much more. Don't forget to take advantage of the basketball court, putt-putt, and, of course, family programming all summer long. All art installations are done by Detroit artists, and it's a fun, safe event from people 1 to 100. Go to deckedoutdetroit.com.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
Okay, the Folding Warehouse. If you want to play with someone who is bad at the Folding Warehouse, Adham Beydoun, go to the Folding Warehouse today. It's in Hamtramck, the home of the original football bowling game. 2 ways to play: $12 unlimited open play or $120 lane reservation up to 10 people. They have a $2 mystery beer. Throw in a rare $2 bill or 2 singles and get a beer that pops out of the machine. Hopefully you enjoy it. They have a full bar. Check it out, thefoldingwarehouse.com today.
God bless you, Fish. What's this comment in the chat? You need to take 3 first and a second for Roquan Smith. I'd rather die. I would rather die.
Roquan Smith is a hot name amongst
Well, he's not
fans.
going anywhere. He's committing to playing the year in Chicago anyways, so it's irrelevant.
They're still going to try to get him?
Yeah.
I'm talking about the fans, not the Lions.
Yeah. Well, speaking of fans not being too happy about a certain subject, Robbie Grossman,
yes,
traded from the Tigers, goes to the Braves, and Terry, he's turning it on. He's doing just fine. This is the Robbie Grossman I think people expected to see this year, but my question to you is, do the Tigers need to go beyond firing Avila at this point and looking at not only their scouting but their front office in general?
Of course. They need an independent thinker, somebody from the outside they need to hire and look at their entire organization. There's a reason that everybody slumped this season, which never, very rarely happens. We've questioned whether they develop players. Seems like the pitching staff, they're doing a pretty good job, but we have guys, we have an entire organization slumping. You get 4 or 5 players or 2-3 players slumping, but everybody that comes here is worse than they were before. And even the guys who turned it out at first, like Riley Green, he comes to the Tigers, he does a good job. He's like, okay, this guy is special.
Say hi, Terry.
What's up? Now he's in decline. So there is something wrong with the juice with the Tigers. So
it's a fundamental issue. It really is.
Right.
They haven't developed players in 40 years, Terry.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look, I'm sorry, I have to ask the question. What's more difficult to do? Not develop a single player in 40 years? Or not win in 40 years like the Lions have?
What's more difficult?
Yeah.
I still say the Lions. I mean, come on now.
I figured.
I mean, dude.
But it's getting to that point with this team, though.
Right.
It just is. I'm so tired of the Tigers. I really am. They needed to fire Al. Glad they did. It's still a joke organization. I'm sorry. How the hell do you manage to keep a guy in charge through the trade deadline and the draft when he's notoriously sucked at both? Only the Tigers.
Go, boy, go.
Only the Tigers. I mean, Terry, I'm trying to find the equivalent here. Oh, you know what? I got the perfect example. All right? Let's say I'm Steve Jobs, right? Rest in peace, by the way.
Okay.
Right? I'm running Apple, and my main lead dev, whoever that may be, who was in charge of deploying the new Apple product, all right? He sucks. He's the worst developer in literally the country.
Right.
Everything he does goes to hell. Sucks. And for 8 years, he's done nothing but put out a bad product for my users. Fair?
Fair.
Are we on the same page?
We're here.
Well, I'll tell you what. Apple is launching its greatest invention ever yet. And we're going to keep said developer through that process as well. We're going to let him deploy it, and then we're going to let him go. How the hell does that make sense?
It doesn't. And that's exactly what the Tigers did.
And then they're mad.
And Chris Illich's explanation was he didn't think the season was done yet. That, to me,
the season was done when they were 9-26. Everybody knew it. And I'm sorry. I love you guys, all that work here. But for the few idiots, and you know who you are, I'm not going to call you out by name. For the few idiots that sat up here, we won 6 games in a row.
Yeah.
We're going to the playoffs.
Yeah, that 6 game in a row thing
You
got
fuckers.
people around here.
You fuckers.
Delusional.
You make my job more difficult than it has to be.
And one of those, and I'm not going to say, so after they won 6 games in a row, they asked me, am I going to apologize to Avila? I'm like, dude, are you on crack?
He can suck my balls. Avila, apologize. Those 2 words never in the same sentence. He should apologize to Detroit for ruining the last 8 years of Tigers baseball.
Bam.
He should apologize for making people waste their money that they have worked so hard for to go watch the games where the team just sucks. They can't even score runs. They're relying on pitching in the regular season. Like, they're doing everything ass backwards. You're supposed to hit during the regular season and have stout pitching in the playoffs. That's how baseball works. It's always worked this way. Jesus Christ. Avila, what a fuck. What a... I know he's gone, and I'm happy about it. I really am. And I do feel partly responsible for his
you look real happy right now.
I am. I really am. This is my happy face. But, like, how do you allow that? And how do you sit up there after and be like, oh, you know, we have foundational pieces? Yeah, why don't you send Riley Green down? Well, because he's making diving plays in the outfield? Oh, he just hit a home run yesterday, right? So you can't send him down anymore. But he's batting 230, 235. What's the difference between him and Torque?
Well, Torque was batting 189. Come on, let's...
I understand. Oh,
that's
I
way
know,
worse.
A 20-point, 30-point difference.
And bro, if you batting 235 for the Tigers...
That's it. You're the best hitter.
Yeah, you should be batting third. What are you talking about?
God. I wish I knew where this team was going. I wish that I could envision their next success. I just don't see it right now. No. And that's like something that's very important to me. And I always believed, this is just the way I think, I typically can see success before it happens. It's obvious, though, right? They give you all the signs. I could see it last season with Michigan State and Michigan early on. I could see it. Hell, I could see teams that were going to falter, like the Pittsburgh Steelers a few years ago. For me, there's not a signing, a trade that just fixes everything. It is 4, 5, 6 moves before you're even relevant. And that doesn't even include addressing your front office and player development coaches that are clearly letting this baseball team down. Because all the players will go somewhere else and do just fine, except here. That's a problem internally. It's not just the GM. So, Tigers got a lot of work to do.
Right, and even Robbie Grossman brought it up. You know, I came here to the Braves, they talked to me, and they said, we're going to fix it. So
you look at Steve Yzerman and the Red Wings. I think you see a plan. I think you see direction. So when you see those two things, it's easy for you to sit there and say, they're going to figure it out eventually, right? They're going to win. You look at the Pistons, Troy Weaver. You look at that situation and say there's direction, there's an identity, there's a vision for the future. I can see them winning. You even look at the Lions right now and you say you trust in the GM. You like the direction the front office is going. You like some of the talent they've brought in. I like that direction. I could see it working. And then there's the Tigers. And it's nothing close to that at all.
Now, here's how you could blow a gasket again about the Tigers. If, they're doing a nationwide search to find the replacement for Avila,
they hire from within?
If they hire from within, that means they just don't give a damn. Because they're hiring from within, and you know who that guy learned from? Avila.
Oh, God. If they hire from within, I think that would be the Adam's probably getting canceled tour. 100%. I wouldn't hold a single word back if they did that. If they somehow tried to convince themselves, we're going to hire from within. Imagine being a company, right? Your CEO steps down or you fire him. It's not working. You're a company that loses money every month. Hundreds of thousands of dollars every month. And you sit there and say, all right, let's identify where we struggle. All right, well, we struggle in our sales department and our marketing department. Okay. We're going to promote the head of marketing as our new CEO. The guy who can't even get his department together. Oh, we're going to bring him up. Everything's going to be great. God, that would be the ultimate. Nah, I don't think I'd be doing shows anymore.
That's like hiring the number 2 and number 3 guy from Dunder Mifflin.
They would send a hitman and me like they did to that house. What's that house called? The infamous house that just burned down.
He's talking about the one by Little Caesars.
Yeah. It doesn't have a name, I don't think. It's
just that big old white house.
Yes, LCA house.
Yeah.
I mean, that used to be 3 houses. Now it's 1.
Well, now it's nothing.
And now it's nothing because it burned down.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to transition a bit. Coming up, where does Jared Goff fit in Detroit for the next few years? What kind of quarterback archetype is Brad Holmes looking for? That was actually a question that our good fans over on the YouTube channel in the comment section requested last week. So I wanted to make sure we got to it. Tim Boyle and David Blau. Impressed. That's around 9:29. At 9:41, we got some Dennis Rodman talk. I don't even want to know.
Yes.
I don't even want to know. We're almost here, top of the hour, 8:43. But before we do, Fish, I got to tell everybody at home about where I got my haircut over the weekend. That was at Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Get to a Lady Jane's near you. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. No appointment necessary. They're awesome. Stylists will take care of you like they take care of me. Get to a Lady Jane's near you. And as always, Lady Jane's. It's wicked awesome.
The Sports Marketing Agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zuniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
Hi everyone, if you're like me and is smart and thinks the Bears are not going to go 0-17, why don't you go to Odds Trader, where it is the #1 site for all your game day bets, play-by-play updates, live scores, and the best price on every game from multiple sports books. Go to oddstrader.com and make it simple and easy. Go to Odds Trader, find the best bets of all the sports books in the world, find the best price, quick, you win instant money. Go to oddstrader.com today for the best bets on all the games today. A lot of games today, by the way. You should enjoy them.
All right, we're back here on the Morning Woodward Show. Terry Foster, 8:45 in the morning on a beautiful Monday. You know, we were supposed to barbecue this weekend. Didn't get a chance to. It was supposed to storm, actually.
It was.
But the rain held up, unfortunately.
Yeah.
We didn't know.
We got a storm Saturday.
We did.
In the morning.
Yeah, it stormed Sunday morning, too.
Yeah, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So, hey,
Long
did
story.
you have
Shut the hell up. Shut the hell up, Fish. Shut the hell up. Do us all a favor. Terry, the question this morning is, where does Jared Goff fit in Detroit for the next few years? What do you need to see out of him to get you to commit to that timeline? Let's say he's under contract for the next few seasons. I've always brought up the Alex Smith analogy. I think that's the home run comparison. Not who they are as players, more so than what both can provide you. In a 3-year stretch, Alex Smith provided you with a 31-15 record. Okay? He provided you with 3,700 yards a season, 20 touchdowns a season, and about 7 interceptions a year. Super efficient. Wouldn't kill you, wouldn't lose you games, wouldn't win you games most weeks, but, you know, every once in a while, he would pull off something really spectacular. And he was able, in the 3-year stretch, to win 2 divisions and a playoff game. And I believe you can accomplish the same with Jared Goff if you just surround him with talent and you have a coach like Andy Reid. Easy to say, oh, well, I would love to have a coach like Andy Reid. Well, how good is Dan Campbell? I don't know. Gut feeling, he's not trash. I think he has an innate ability, especially with the people around him. They'll have some success. But if you were to tell me for the next 3 seasons, it would be 7 wins, 10 or 11 wins, and then a division title, I would consider that a success. Because you have to work towards the eventuality is, are you competing for your division? And by the end of next season, if this team is not competing for the division, it's going to be a hard sell for me to sit here and say, well, Dan Campbell's the guy. Yep, trusting in Dan Campbell. Dan's going to lead the way. 3 years is more than enough time to at least compete, let alone win your division. And where Jared Goff fits in that timeline is, I think he's a division-winning quarterback, a playoff-winning quarterback. That's his history already. He's done it before. You can do it with him. You can do it with any quarterback if you just learn from your mistakes. Learn from your mistakes. Build on the inside, like they are now with one of the better offensive lines in the game, and they're addressing their defensive front. Appreciate it. Well done. Go out and get skill position players. Jameson Williams traded up, got him in the draft. Okay, not bad. Not bad. We'll take that. Young, innovative, offensive-minded coach. Oh, Ben Johnson, he's our OC. You're starting to check a lot of these boxes, and it's why I'm very, very optimistic about this football team. They're doing things that the other good teams in the league do. You go look at the Bears. What'd the Bears do? They have a second-year quarterback that you like to believe has a future in the NFL. Who knows with Justin Fields? And they hire a defensive coordinator. Wow. 10 out of 10 move. Oh, and they didn't address the offensive line. And they didn't bring in any marquee weapons. Interesting. There are organizations that are right now operating at a much worse level than the Lions are. That gives me confidence. But for Jared Goff, I don't need to see 4,500 yards, 30 plus. I don't need that. How about you just play to win? How about you win games, Jared? How about you play well enough for this team to win football games? How about you throw for 38, 39, 4,000, 4,100 yards in a year, 27, 28 touchdowns, 7, 8, 9, 10 interceptions? That'd be nice. I would love a 2.4, 2.5, 2.6 to 1 touchdown interception ratio. That would be phenomenal. Would love it. I think that would be excellent for Jared. He has a home here if he can win games. It's that simple. And I think he's a guy where in the near future you're going to be making the decision of, are we going to go up and trade for our first round pick? Or excuse me, our quarterback in the first round. And when we do that, we're probably going to sit him for a year. Let Jared try and either defend the division title in the future, let's say optimistically, or go out and win it. And when they do, and it's all said and done, insert rookie. Hell, you could play the rookie from the get. I don't care at this point. Kind of where I'm getting at, Terry, is you can have success with Jared Goff. And the excuse I don't want to hear is quarterback play. He's done it before. If Sean McVay was able to figure it out, you can figure it out. It's not that hard. If Dan Campbell is what you want him to be, you're going to win games.
Maybe Sean McVay is special, though.
No, Sean is special.
Okay.
I don't need Dan Campbell to be that level of special. I mean, that's an anomaly anyways. He's the youngest coach, etc. I don't want to get into Sean McVay. But kind of where I'm getting at, Terry, is you just need a damn good coach. You got the GM, and you can win with average. Vrabel and the Titans are winning with Ryan Tannehill. They got the number 1 seed last year. They're just fine. Why? They have talent, and they have good coaching. I think coaching is so important in the NFL. I don't think it even gets talked enough about because people love the quarterbacks, right? They love the sexy positions. They love the dominant players. How'd Dallas do last year? 12-win team, right? How'd they look in the playoffs?
I'm going to say something a little weird. I don't want Jared Goff passing for 4,800 yards.
You shouldn't want that.
I'd rather have him pass for 4,200 yards, but his touchdown to interception ratio is high. I don't want him passing for 4,800 yards because the Lions' mentality is to run the football. And if he's passing for that many yards, it means they're losing games. It means they're in desperate mode, and their pass run ratio isn't what it should be. So I just want him to be efficient. Don't turn the ball over. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna bring up a name that is gonna piss you off, but I don't care. It's Monday.
Thanks, Terry.
Cade McNamara.
Oh God. You know, this whole rundown sheet doesn't include anything about Cade, and you somehow managed to bring him up. God bless you, Terry. God bless you. What an asshole you are. Go ahead.
Guilty.
Go ahead.
Nah, but anyway, if the Lions are to win, unless Dan Campbell turns into Sean McVay, unless he turns into Andy Reid, which I guess is possible, but
do you need him to, though? What if I told you he was Mike Vrabel or Sean McDermott?
No, I'm telling you, if he turns into that, then I don't mind Goff passing for 48 to 4,900 yards. If he's anything less than that, I'd rather have him like 41 or 4,200 yards, and they are pounding that ball, pushing the ball up the field more. That there's a balance with run pass. I think for him, because he throws the ball, so many short balls, for him to pass for 4,800 yards, I mean, he's passing a lot,
what are we talking
and that scares
about,
me.
Though I don't get it. I don't know what we're talking about, because at the end of the day, Terry, forget the coach, forget everything else. Let's go down the list of division-winning quarterbacks last season. Joe Burrow in the AFC North. AFC South, Ryan Tannehill. AFC East, Josh Allen. AFC West, Patrick Mahomes. NFC North, Aaron Rodgers. NFC West, Matthew Stafford. NFC East, Dak Prescott. NFC South, Tom Brady. There's only one division winner, hell, you could argue two, that are average or above average, and that was Dak and Ryan Tannehill. It's a quarterback league, right? But
yes,
there are cases, which we see every year, of quarterbacks and teams finding ways to win. We saw the Bears win a division with Mitchell Trubisky. Why? They had a year stretch where the defense was phenomenal. The coaching was actually really good. Matt Nagy was an up-and-coming coach. People were in love with Matt Nagy. Young, offensive-minded, brilliant, right? They have a year where they go 12-4, and they win the division. You just need good coaching, man. I don't need 48. Hell, I don't need 45. It's a 17-game schedule now. You have to average like 235 yards, I think, or 240 yards, something like that, over a 17-game stretch to throw for 4,000. It's easy in today's league. That's so easy. 240 yards a game? Nothing. It's so doable. So Jared Goff's stat line to me is irrelevant. It's how well are you playing? Are you able to put together a few drives throughout the year that really make an impact on the team, maybe even win you a game, 2-3 game-winning drives over the course of a year? How Jared plays is up to him. It's up to coaching. And I don't want to hear the excuses at the end of the day. I know what they have. I know what they're building towards. And for me, there's no future in this town with Jared Goff. There is a future for the next year and a half, 2-3 years, maybe. But the eventuality that we're going to get to at the top of the hour is Brad Holmes is going to draft a quarterback. He is.
Of course.
And he must. And when he does, we can have the conversation about the Lions potentially running the division for the next 10, 12 years, where they're 6-7 time winners if they draft an all-pro quarterback. Who knows? Super, super hypothetical. But the point is, you'll never escape the eventuality that you have to draft a quarterback. And I think you can actually have it both ways. I think you can repeat what the Kansas City Chiefs were able to do. Whether or not you find Patrick Mahomes is on Brad Holmes. I don't think you can find that. That's special. That's 1 out of every 5-7 drafts. Who knows? Maybe you do get lucky. But you can't tell me that this team, with the roster and the talent that Brad Holmes will add, can't go out there, compete for the division over the next 2-3 years, and still find a way to draft their quarterback. It can be done. The smart teams do it. Lamar Jackson at 26, Patrick Mahomes at 10, Josh Allen, I believe, at 6 or 7, Justin Herbert at 7, I believe. You don't have to pick the top 3. Go out and find your goddamn quarterback. Eventually, you're going to need it. Like Jared Goff, he's average. He's just average. But you can win in the league with average if you have quality coaching and talent. And I think Brad Holmes is going to inject talent into this football team. It's on Dan Campbell whether or not he's a legitimate coach.
I'll check with you in November to find out if he is.
Oh, man. You're going to use that against me all year?
All year.
God damn it. I can't wait till November now.
Not in December, though.
Oh, God. Let's see. Goff, we'll read a few comments. Goff doesn't take those shots, but the Lions are building a wide receiving core that can make the plays after the catch. Speed kills. I do agree. John Dorsey found Patrick Mahomes. Yes, he did, Steve. And you know who's in this front office? John Dorsey.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that something? Goff didn't attempt to pass outside the numbers or down the field in that series. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe it's something. Yeah, you guys are reading too much into this. You guys are reading way too much into this. Dak Prescott threw 37 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, and the Cowboys led the league in scoring. Dak is not average at all. They lost to a much better 49ers team in the playoffs. A much better 49ers team. Wow. Who's better at quarterback, Jimmy Garoppolo or Dak Prescott? I think you would say Dak. Who's got the better defense? I think you would say Dallas. Who had the more high-powered offense? The Cowboys. The Cowboys were the better team going into that game. And not only did they get out coached, their quarterback got outplayed. It's that simple. I don't want to hear about Dak Prescott, some amazing thing. He's overrated as hell until he proves he can put the team on his back. He benefited early on in his career from an amazing offensive line, and that's it. Amari Cooper's gone this year. Let's see how he does with CeeDee Lamb and Michael Gallup. An aging offensive line, aging Zeke. Get out of here with that Dak stuff.
Yeah, Zeke is not what he was. I thought Dak Prescott looked good because of Ezekiel Elliott. Elliott was the guy that pushed that offense. Now he's not what he used to be, and so now you look more at Dak Prescott to see what he's doing, and he's not. He can't hold up his end of the bargain. That's why Dallas was always hesitant about extending him. They're always
Do you blame them?
hard. No, I don't blame him at all.
In the last 3 years, he started 37 games. 21-16. 67% completion percentage. 25 touchdowns a year, 8 interceptions a year. Quarterback rating of 101. Solid. Nothing special. Nothing special. I don't know what you guys see that I'm missing in Dak Prescott, but I don't see special.
No, I think some people see special, and some people are like, they're like you, like, what are we talking about?
He's good, but he's not $40 million a year good.
Right.
And every Cowboys fan is looking at that cap hit right now and saying, well, damn, we couldn't keep Amari Cooper. How are we going to keep all of our players?
Mm-hmm.
You paid a guy that can't overcome the salary cap. You had your most success early on when he was on his rookie contract. And now what? Dak Prescott's going to carry you like maybe a Joe Burrow can or a Patrick Mahomes? Get out of here. Kick rocks. Kick rocks. When we get back, top of the hour coming up, what kind of quarterback archetype will Brad Holmes look for in the draft? Does he look for a mobile quarterback? Look for a pocket passer. This was an interesting question polled over the weekend on YouTube. That was really interesting. I figured we'd give it a shot. But before we do, Fish, our good friends over at Cintron.
Yeah, Cintron, the official energy drink of the Detroit Red Wings hockey team. Cintron has combined all three of their delicious flavors into a limited edition 6-pack sampler box. Try Cintron's great tasting cranberry classic and sugar-free all in one pack. Pre-order your Cintron 6-pack sampler box today at cintronworld.com/Red Wings. Get energized with Cintron. Let's go, Red Wings!
New to the game or a season better? OddsTrader.com has everything you need to make the right bet ahead of kickoff. Begin your handicapping journey with OddsTrader. Improve your edge by finding the best price on every game from sportsbooks in your backyard. Take advantage of the numerous sign-up bonus offers to pad your bankroll. Dive into key game statistics, player performance, and even account for the projected game day weather. Best of all, you can use the OddsTrader bet tracker to keep a log of your action. Welcome to OddsTrader, and best of luck.
Hi, I'm John from Better Rate Mortgage, and to me, family is more than blood. That's why I have the biggest family in Metro Detroit. If you're looking to buy a house or refinance and need a loan, come get treated better than family by me and our entire team here at Better Rate Mortgage. We pride ourselves on giving you better advice, better service, and a better loan experience. That's why we are Better Rate. If you're looking for a new mortgage, come get treated like family. Actually, better with Better Rate Mortgage. Visit us at mybetterrate.com or call at 248-480-4467 today.
Get a shot up. This is for the win. All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
Open all summer long. Bedrock Detroit brings you the Monroe Street Midway. And of course, on August 25th, we'll be down there at the roller skating party on a Thursday. We're giving away free jerseys. At Bedrock Detroit and at the Monroe Street Midway. I can't wait. We're going to have the heavyweights down there live. It's going to be a good time. Live with a DJ and a jersey giveaway and more. Wear your favorite jersey down there.
Are you going to roller skate?
Probably not.
Because I was going to say, I want you to wear some knee pads so you don't skin up your pretty little knees.
My knees are... Well, you know what? We're not going to do that conversation right now. We don't need to go there. Top of the hour brought to you by Bedrock Detroit. A lot of Goff and Dak comparisons. Guys, Dak is not average. Dak is good. Dak's actually pretty good. But he's not elite. And he's not good enough to overcome what he has in front of him. It's that simple. Dak's a good quarterback. I don't see where the misunderstanding is here. But do you put Dak with Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, some of the young, bright quarterbacks in the NFL?
Not quite. He's close, but not there.
He's closer
how about he's a step behind? How about that?
He's a step behind, but he's not what you would call a quarterback that can overcome the salary cap.
Right.
And there's not many. There's not many, to be fair.
I know, but isn't that the NFL?
Of course it is.
You either keep your quarterback, overpay him, or bring in a young guy and not start all over, but you're sort of starting at a different level.
We'll look at Goff. Right? You got him on the books for what, $30 million a year for the next few years?
Right.
What happens when his contract expires? You're going to have to pay him roughly 40, 45 plus. Just because of the market, and that's if he plays well. So if Goff does everything you want him to do, he goes out and plays really well, you're going to have to pay him a significant amount of money. Is he worth it? And this is why the Dak Prescott contract situation was so interesting. Because he hadn't shown that he deserved 40 plus million a year. But you gave it to him. And sometimes you don't have a choice.
Right. If you don't give it to him, then where are you?
I agree. But you can't.
It's sort of like Kyler Murray.
You can't have it both ways.
I'm like, why the hell did you pay that man? I'm like, you had to.
You don't have a choice sometimes, right. Yes. But is it also fair to say, all right, fine, we'll give you the contract, but we have to acknowledge you are not at this level. You just aren't. Terry, quarterback archetype is a interesting conversation to have, especially for Brad Holmes, John Dorsey, the whole front office. What they're going to be looking for, whether it's in this draft, the future drafts, whatever it may be, when they end up deciding to draft a quarterback, what is it going to look like? And I'm inclined to believe it's this simple. Pocket passer. And if he has mobility, great. But I think there's no such thing as an archetype anymore. And let me explain why. Fitness, all-time level, ever. We've modern science advancements. Quarterbacks are much more skilled, much more mobile than now than ever. All these 4- or 5-star prospects coming into college, they're all athletic. They all can run the football. They can all get out of the pocket. They can all throw it. Patrick Mahomes is mobile. He is.
Yes.
But that's not what he's known for.
But he can hurt you.
But he can, but when needed. But he's a pocket passer. Joe Burrow, pocket passer. Justin Herbert, pocket passer. Can they maneuver? Yeah, they can. Yeah, they can. Absolutely. Hell, you can even bring up the Kyler Murray example. Kyler Murray is at his best when he's throwing the football. Now, Lamar is the anomaly to all of this, obviously. But we're not going to use Lamar in this situation. You're looking not for an archetype. You're just looking for the guy that you believe has the character standards, the ability, and the potential to be great in the league. That's it. I don't think there's an archetype at the quarterback position anymore. They all have the arm strength. Whether or not they can develop accuracy, they can read the game correctly, that's all for scouting. But when we talk about archetypes, Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, very capable of being mobile. They can both escape the pocket. They can avoid pressure. They can roll out. They can all do that. But that's not what they're known for. What are they known for? Throwing the football. Go find a guy that can throw the ball. That's it.
I don't think there's any more pocket passers, at least the way that I understood pocket passers to be. Pocket passers never left the pocket, but now all these guys, even if you define them as a pocket passer, they'll run on you. Like Josh Allen, I really like him as a quarterback. So I think the most important thing is, can I teach this guy how to read defenses? Can I teach this guy when to run, when to throw intermediate, when to go up top to his favorite receiver? Because even if you're a running quarterback, a mobile quarterback, what does the offensive coordinator do? He teaches you to not run all the time. He teaches you to throw from the pocket or throw rolling out. So I think a lot of what we define as pocket passers is created by the offensive coordinator or the head coach.
Well, let's look at the 2021 draft. All right? 5 quarterbacks taken in the first round. Trevor Lawrence. He's mobile.
Mm-hmm.
Right? He's athletic. Pocket passer.
He is,
Quote.
but he'll hurt you with those legs now and then.
Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, dynamic quarterbacks, right? They can maneuver out of the pocket. They can throw the rock. They do it all, quote unquote, right? Mac Jones, the exception in that first round, but then Justin Fields. That's where the league's going. And I think 10 years from now, we're going to have more Josh Allens, and I don't mean as the player, but at least that prototype in the league, than we'll have Jimmy Garoppolo's or Jared Goff's. But we have to be fair here. We have to acknowledge that you got to win in the pocket. You just do at the end of the day. If you can't throw in the pocket, I don't care how skilled you are, how gifted you are. Josh Allen led those drives in the playoffs last year against the Chiefs in the pocket, delivering strikes. Patrick Mahomes got the team down to score in the pocket. You win by throwing in the pocket. It's that simple. Can you be dynamic, mobile? Could you hurt a team every now and then with your legs? Sure you can. Sure you can. But we're just seeing quarterbacks evolve. It's really just evolution, Terry. They're still pocket quarterbacks. They have to win in the pocket. But now they have this unbelievable gift of being now more mobile, being able to roll out in the pocket, throw across the field, across their body, just like Justin Herbert does. They can do that now. Instead of your Jake Delhomme or Jake Plummer, Jeff Garcia. Remember, Jeff Garcia was quite the mobile guy. John Kitna. I mean, at the end of the day, you even look at last year's NFC Championship and AFC Championship. Who were the 4 quarterbacks? Jimmy Garoppolo, pocket quarterback. Matthew Stafford, pocket quarterback. Patrick Mahomes is a pocket passer, and so is Joe Burrow. At the end of the day, some are more athletic than others, yeah. But where's Kyler Murray? Where's Lamar? You don't want to rely on your legs. You have to win within the pocket. I don't think the game's changed in that sense. I just believe the quarterbacks have become more athletic. They're much more capable of moving out of the pocket. But at the end of the day, your bread and butter is made within that pocket.
And that is true. And that's why coordinators try to harness quarterbacks a little bit. They're trying to make Lamar Jackson a pocket quarterback. They're doing the best they can. I don't know if it's going to succeed, but that's what they're trying to do. They tried to make Michael Vick a pocket quarterback, but that really wasn't his thing. And you know what else? I hope you don't roll your eyes too much. You know who else will hurt you with their legs?
God. Oh, God.
Matthew Stafford.
Oh, occasionally, yeah.
Yes, he'll do that occasionally. But the other thing that he did is he had an ability to create time within that pocket with his legs, whether he would move laterally or he would do something to create that extra half second or second that he needed to throw the ball. And quarterbacks need to do that because I don't know if you noticed, they got some grown-ass men coming after him every down, every play.
And those grown-ass men are only getting bigger, faster, and stronger.
Right. Those grown-ass men, when it was when I started
back in my day,
they would run a 5.0 or 5.1 40. Now those grown-ass men who are 300
4.6,
pounds,
4.7.
Yeah, and 4.5 sometimes.
You know, have you been paying attention to the top 100 list in the NFL?
I haven't seen the top 50, but I kind of petered out after.
I'm glad the chat is bringing this up so I don't have to. I really appreciate you guys. Trevon Diggs is the 23rd best player in the NFL, according to the players.
Wow.
The 23rd. Above Jamar Chase, only 2 spots behind Joe Burrow at 21.
Okay.
Now, this is Trevon Diggs, all-pro season, but he's not even to Marshawn Lattimore's level. And he's like 20, 30 spots ahead of him because he had 11 interceptions for 1 year. And you know what's funny? I'm not going to discredit the 11 interceptions he had. But he was one of the most targeted corners, if not the most targeted, in the NFL. Terry, did you target Darrelle Revis when he was in his prime?
I did not.
Did you target Richard Sherman in his prime? Dion? You didn't dare throw the ball in their direction. You know why they throw it to Trevon Diggs?
You run the ball Dion's way, but you didn't throw the ball over there.
Man. Dude. I can't believe he's the 23rd best player. I wonder where they rank Matthew Stafford, actually, now that I'm thinking of this. I'm assuming he hasn't appeared yet. He's probably going to be top 10, along with Aaron Donald.
No,
would that be fair?
20.
For sure, top 20. I mean, they got up to 21. I think they announced top 20 this upcoming weekend, but I'm pretty sure.
He'll be in the next group.
He'll be somewhere between, I would say, I put him between 5 and 13. Is that fair?
I'm thinking
I'm not sure where they're going to put him.
Like 14 to 15. They're still going, because he played here, they're still going to put some of that lion stench on him. Not as much as they did before, but I think he'll be like 14 to 15. My prediction. Is that coming out today or tomorrow?
I believe next Sunday.
Oh.
This upcoming Sunday.
Between 10 and 20?
I believe so.
Okay.
Man, I don't know. I haven't been paying much attention. Oh, Stafford's 27? Oh.
Okay.
Oh, wow. See, I didn't even look at the list. No way. Yeah, this list is insane. Trevon Diggs is a better player than the Super Bowl winning quarterback.
Right.
Who set an NFL record, by the way.
I know, but...
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Who puts this list together? I need to find out. NFL Top 100. Who the fuck puts this list together?
I thought it was the NFL or NFL Network
Awful
or something
job.
like that.
Let's see. Who determines... The rankings are based on an off-season poll organized by the NFL where players vote on their peers based on performance from the recent season. All right, look, NFL guys, NFL players, love you. You put out a great product. We love you. Appreciate what you guys do
and
for us.
And you entertain us
and
every
you entertain
Sunday
us.
and Monday.
Are you kidding me? Okay. Again, it's a poll. I'm going to verbatim. This is the criteria. It's a poll based on last season. And based on last season alone, there was no quarterback that threw for more yards, more touchdowns, regular season playoffs combined than Matthew Stafford. There was no quarterback in NFL history that had more touchdowns, more yards in a season when they won the Super Bowl. The first to do 56,000 and a Super Bowl. Based on last season. And Joe Burrow's up there at 21. I don't mind Burrow being up there. He deserves it. He's phenomenal.
Honey Bun, you know it's not based on last season.
Trevon Diggs!
Because Stafford played quarterback with the Lions for so many years, they're putting a little bit of that stench on him, even though they claim.
Trevon Diggs, dude, a corner at 23. Meanwhile, a Super Bowl winning quarterback at 27. What the fuck? Like, this just...
You know what? You know what we promised ourselves? We're not going to pay attention to Matthew Stafford this year. So I need you to back off. Don't be so angry about this. He's not your quarterback anymore.
I don't want him to be my quarterback. I don't give a damn. But how do we put a list like this together? It's so pathetic. I'm so angry right now. What the fuck? God. This is insane.
Dude, you making my chair go down.
I'm sorry. I got to look at this list. Joey Bosa at 30. I love that. Bobby Wagner at 29. A bit high in my opinion. Quentin Nelson at 28. Matthew Stafford at 27. Stephon Diggs. Nick Bosa. Jamar Chase. How do you have Trevon Diggs ahead of these guys? How do you have Trevon Diggs ahead of Jamar Chase, Nick Bosa, Stephon Diggs, and Matthew Stafford? Quentin Nelson. How? Fucking tell me! God!
Yeah, tell us. We need to know.
Joe Burrow at 21. At least I can respect that number.
You know, I'm kind of glad they did that.
I'm not.
Oh, I'm happy because it set your ass off. So I'm happy to see this. Shoot, I thought we were gonna have a boring Monday.
God, I need a break. We'll be back. God damn it. The best defense on and off the field. No, it's not Trevon Diggs. Fish. It's our good friends over at Guardian Alarm.
Guardian Alarm. Summer is here. It's ending in a few weeks, by the way. And that means spending more time outside. Let Guardian Alarm give you peace of mind while you're enjoying the outside sunshine. Just call 1-800-STAY-OUT today, and you can rest easy knowing you have 24/7 protection. That's 1-800-STAY-OUT. Let them know Woodward Sports sent you today.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Kroger's, and if you wanna know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
Okay, Big Frog, it is just the end of August, and you can get a free Woodward Sports t-shirt all month long at the Big Frog in Novi. Just stop in and tell them Woodward Sports sent you, and they will print you a t-shirt on the spot in their lovely printing presses. So go to Big Frog Novi today. Get yourself a free t-shirt. Tell them Woodward Sports sent you, and or go online at bigfrog.com/Novi today.
All right, we're back 9:20 on a Monday morning. Terry Foster, Adham Beydoun with you this morning. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to do that as always. Terry?
Yes.
I want to talk about Dennis Rodman. I want to change the mood up a little bit.
Okay.
Little heavy right now. A little frustrated with that top 100 list. I want you to brighten up my day. So, what the hell's going on with Dennis Rodman? I'll let you do the honors.
Dennis Rodman has said that he wants to go to Russia to free Brittney Griner.
Free BG?
Free BG. And
I thought they agreed to make that deal already.
No, they
just talked. Yeah,
they're talking about. The U.S. has said, okay, you can go. So he's got permission from the United States government.
Yeah, but doesn't the country he's entering need to give him permission too?
Of course, but if you see a freaky-looking 6'8" black guy, Russia's gonna let him in. Here's what I think they should. I mean, here's what I think they should do with Dennis Rodman. Make him the ambassador to all the dysfunctional countries. Russia, North Korea,
Kim Jong-un,
Iran, Iraq. Just send him Dennis Rodman and have him sit down and call him bro for a couple hours. We can get a lot done. I have faith in Dennis Rodman. I mean, Kim Jong-un wants to blow up this country.
Yeah.
But he won't. Well, first of all, they don't have the firepower to do that, but he won't even try to do it.
Don't tell North Korea that.
Huh?
Don't tell North Korea that. They think they do.
You know what? They got their little bombs that they.
So when the hell are we going to figure out the situation? Because I'm getting really sick of it.
I mean,
BG?
Yeah.
It's going to take a long time. It's not.
It's going to take a while.
Yeah,
because,
it's not a simple process.
It takes two to tango.
I don't know how she's supposed to come home anytime soon, and Russia's in the middle of a war.
I mean,
as if, like,
Russia's
she's their
going to try to
priority.
prolong this for. They're going to try to make it the whole 9 years if they can.
Oh, 100% they will.
Maybe Dennis Rodman goes there and ends the war.
The worm. If we're relying on Dennis Rodman, we're all pretty done for. God. Is it a legit report, or is he talking out of his ass?
He told that to NBC.
Yeah, it's real.
It's real.
That they're ready to send him there. What the hell is he going to do?
I mean,
I have faith in the brother. Now, he is, I admit, out of the box.
A little crazy.
But if he can be on a first name basis with Kim Jong-un, why not Vladimir Putin?
But I don't think Kim Jong-un thinks of Dennis Rodman as American. He just thinks of him as like a friend.
But he is American.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean he thinks of him as that.
And maybe Vladimir Putin likes the NBA. Maybe he remembers the bad boy Pistons. I don't know.
That would be pretty cool if he does.
But I think, sometimes, dude, the guy with the suit, let me put my little suit on and let's talk like this. That doesn't work.
Did you, look, I don't mean to transition this, but we're talking about Brittney Griner anyway, so I might as well. Did you see the chick that made all-rookie team?
Oh, yeah.
Who averaged 0.4 points
Terry
a game,
Foster
0.3 rebounds, 0.2 assists, 6.5 minutes.
Yeah, but she averaged a triple single. I saw that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't even know what to say to that. And people get mad. Like, what am I supposed to do for you? I can't do more than that.
That's embarrassing.
Like, that's why you suck. That's why your product sucks. Like, and shame on the AP for even publishing it. That's so embarrassing.
Yeah,
they should have said, we're not announcing an all-rookie team this year.
The AP is not there to embarrass or not embarrass. AP is there to give you facts.
Mm-hmm.
Shame on the WNBA for putting her on the team. The AP is like, oh, damn, we got a good story here. Let's throw it out And the heavyweights were talking about it, cracking up.
They were laughing. I don't blame them, though. Imagine making all rookie, not even averaging a single digit in any category.
Well, like I said, she averaged a quadruple single.
Mm-hmm.
That's so pathetic.
Not even Russell Westbrook can do that. It's pretty impressive.
Right.
We should send Fish over to Russia. I think he would be able to negotiate for Brittney Griner. 100%.
Would I?
Fish would be hyper successful.
Yeah, but they wouldn't even see Fish because he comes up to Brittney Griner's kneecap.
That's very
How tall
true.
is she? What? 6'7"?
She's 6'7".
Yeah.
Not bad. Damn.
Yeah, so 1.5 feet.
Remember the whole big Boogie
Hi,
Cousins
how are
thing?
you, Brittney Griner? I'm very good. Oh, wow, that's pretty cool.
Fish. What are you doing, buddy?
And she talks like a dude.
I'm talking.
Do you remember the whole Boogie
Brittney
Cousins
Griner, but
thing?
she's really tall.
Or do you not
There's
remember
a lot of stuff.
So she said she could beat DeMarcus Cousins one-on-one back when he was Boogie Cousins, like legit.
I did not hear that, and she can't.
And they polled, like, this was like during the USA trials. I forget what it was for basketball, and they asked all the players, and they were all like smirking and laughing. And then Gino Auriemma, who's the UConn women's basketball coach, was like, I would go to my house, I would take all the money I have, empty out my bank account, refinance my house, everything, and I would put it on Boogie to win.
Right.
So messed up.
She would not beat Boogie Cousins. First of all, for all his flaws, the dude is big and strong.
It's not even close.
And
we're not going to even entertain this.
He beat her.
Did you see what Bill, actually I agree with this a lot, why it's hilarious. Bill Burr's take on the WNBA?
No.
Know who Bill Burr is, though?
Tell
Comedian? Redhead? Baldy?
Yeah, he's a
It's
comedian.
hilarious. So his take on the WNBA was that it's not men who are letting the WNBA down, it's women. Men have their own sports that they watch already. Why aren't women supporting the WNBA more?
Because they're too busy trying to get men to watch.
That's
and
kind of where he went.
Here's what the media does. The media tries to come up with a sport, a women's sport, that we're all going to support, right? Do you know what the most popular sport amongst women is?
Football.
It's NFL, specifically.
Yeah, 100%. Mm-hmm.
So then they try to cover these women games and women's tennis and women's basketball and everything. And women like us, we want to see the NFL. They want to go see the Lions and the Packers. They want to see the Raiders and whoever.
You have a women's football league.
Well, I'll tell you guys what.
I know the woman who was the quarterback of the national champion Detroit Demolition.
Ooh.
That was a women's
I didn't even
team.
know that was a thing, to be honest with you.
I don't think they're around anymore.
Well, look, I'll tell you what. Coming up with the new $8 billion TV rights deal, will the Big Ten buy its way into becoming a powerhouse like the SEC? We'll get to all that and more in just a bit. But before we do, Fish, our good friends over at Big Boy.
Big Boy. Lunch is coming up in a few hours, so go over to Big Boy today. Ciabatta, summer salads, hand dip shakes, all at our lovely folks at Big Boy. Try the Chicken Club, chicken cordon bleu, sunrise, ham and cheddar on our grilled ciabatta breads, or keep it life the Michigan apple, chicken Caesar, and Greek salad. Don't forget to cool off with a nice hand dip cookies and cream ooh-wee shake, or the strawberry shake. You heard it here first. Summer just got better at Big Boy.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
Make sure you're listening to Woodward Sports all day long. Start your morning with the Morning Woodward Show. Spend middays with Big D Energy. Watch and listen your drive home with the Bottom Line. And don't forget about Woodward Bets Daily. All live, all right here on the Woodward Sports Network.
We're back here on the Morning Woodward Show. Here on the Woodward Sports Network, live on TikTok and YouTube. If you aren't already subscribed to the YouTube channel, make sure you head over to the Woodward Sports YouTube channel and subscribe. Of course, like the video if you haven't already. We're at 140 likes. Let's try to get to 200 before the show ends. Half hour left. 9:30. Terry?
Yes.
With the influx of money coming in with this media deal, can the Big Ten buy its way? Can the Big Ten buy its way into becoming a powerhouse like the SEC?
I believe it can. Now, before all this stuff happened, I was going to propose something that I thought like a team like, let's say, Western Kentucky or Central Michigan, if they could get a big donor who was willing to put hundreds of millions into the program, upgrade the stadium, make it easier to recruit, that they could take those teams and make them a national power. Now, I think this is exactly what's going to happen. The Big Ten is going to be every bit as dangerous as the SEC because these teams have so much more money now. Unless the SEC gets this multi-billion-dollar contract, which they haven't yet. But right now, why is the SEC better, or the top teams of the SEC? What?
Better players, better recruiting.
But they're in the hotbed of recruiting. Now, if you have way more money than everybody else, your facilities are a lot better. You're getting better coaching. You're getting better everything. At some point, weather is not going to be the deciding factor for recruits to come to your school. That they're going to look around and say, I know it's cold in Michigan, but, man, look at these sweet facilities. Look at my NIL. If you can, now you can pay players. And no matter where you are, if you can pay more and if you can show more, you can be the top dog. So if this plays out the way it looks like it's going to play out, where you're going to have the Big Ten with USC in it, Ohio State in it, and then there's going to be 6 other teams that are going to bring their print to the Big Ten. Yes, absolutely. This contract is going to make the Big Ten relevant to the SEC. Now, even today, with the advantages that the SEC has, the SEC is not necessarily a better football conference than the Big Ten. The top teams are, but they still got Vanderbilt. They still got
Tennessee.
Who's awful. They got Tennessee. Kentucky is starting to do a little something now, but
Florida's hit or miss.
They're not great. Yeah, Florida used to be great, but now they're hit or miss. So, but what you have now with the SEC, you have Alabama, who's great, and then there's always 1 or 2 other teams that are gonna follow right along Alabama, and they could beat anybody in the Big Ten.
Georgia, Auburn.
But Auburn can't beat everybody in the Big Ten.
Nope.
Vanderbilt would not have won the Big Ten in the last 50 years. And I'm going to throw Ohio State out. Let's say the Big Ten does not have Ohio State. Vanderbilt still wouldn't win the Big Ten. Kentucky still wouldn't win the Big Ten. Tennessee would not have won the Big Ten in the last 20 years. Alabama, yeah. Georgia, yeah. And Auburn wouldn't either.
Ooh.
So, money talks, BS walks. So I absolutely expect the Big Ten to become the power in football unless the SEC gets another TV contract and then weather and location becomes the primary factor in recruiting again. Because what we forget, and I know Adham loves coaching. You know, coaching, if you get the right coach, all this can happen. He's right, it does matter. But bottom line, do you get the horses? Do you get the dogs? Do you get the dudes that can play not for 1 year or 2 years, but for whole recruiting cycles, 4 years, 6 years, 8 years. If you do that, you become the king dog. And I think this contract is going to allow the Big Ten to be that.
100%. NIL, I think, is going to take maybe a huge leap forward, especially with schools like Michigan. Look.
But let me say this. NIL is going to neutralize itself because the SEC is not going to stand back and say, okay, Michigan is not going to outspend us in NIL.
Well, if the Big Ten is getting that kind of money, what do you think the SEC's media deal when it expires is going to be?
Well, right now it's like 2/3 of what the Big Ten is.
So,
and it can't match the Big Ten because the media markets in the SEC are not as strong as the ones in the Big Ten territory.
That is correct. I think at the end of the day, what do players want most? They want to be part of a winning culture, right? They want to play in the big games. Oof. One of the struggles I have with at least the NIL standpoint is how sustainable is this? And when does it become, well, we're just recruiting, we're not even recruiting players anymore, we're paying for players. And do you adopt a salary cap per university? Like, what do you do with this? The rules still aren't clear, so it'll stay as a free-for-all for now, but eventually, like, USC can now build off its foundation. Ohio State, Michigan, you look at even in the South, Georgia, Bama, they were relevant before NIL, they'll be relevant after. Coaching, winning, recruiting. That's the end-all, be-all. I don't think the money significantly changes the Big Ten, although if you noticed last season, 3 of the 5 most watched games involved Michigan out of all schools across all networks.
Michigan,
3 of
Ohio
the 5
State,
most viewed games.
Michigan State,
Michigan, Ohio State, Michigan State, and Michigan, I believe, Iowa. Big Ten championship game. Why? Not surprised. Not surprised at all. But that doesn't directly impact your football program. Look at the talent Georgia have. Look how even Michigan State. Michigan State might land the #1 defensive lineman in the 2023 class. Who knows? Who's your coaches? What does your recruiting staff look like? What connections do you have? NIL, yes, is a part of it now. I don't think the money is going to change everything for these schools, though. You can't pay a quarterback or a wide receiver prospect enough money to go play for Georgia Tech or Michigan even. They would rather go play USC. They would rather go play at Ohio State. They would rather go play at Clemson even. There's more factors, I think, than just money involved in this theory.
Other factors are involved, but money's going to become the #1 factor. It's not going to be because I want to play in the Georgia-Florida game. That's not going to be the main factor. It's not going to be weather for all recruits. It's going to come down to money because football is changing. It's changing every day, and I'm looking ahead 5-6 years from now. Yeah, it's going to be...
Well, 5-6 years from now, I think they would have figured out how to at least establish uniform rules for NIL. Fair? They should have figured it out by then.
Will they be able to duplicate the TV contract that the Big Ten has?
Not necessarily, no, but you have a USC. Even look at it from Michigan's standpoint. It was already difficult enough for them, even with Jim Harbaugh coming in and getting top 5 recruiting classes. It was already difficult for them to beat Ohio State. What happens when you have a team in USC joining the Big Ten that can out-recruit Ohio State? The moment, and you already saw it right away, by the way, with Lincoln Riley and USC, but give them a year, 2 years of recruiting. They will be 1, 2, or 3 for the next 3 to 5 seasons. And when they win 10 games this year, you are going to see an explosion in commitment to USC. Nobody can pull the recruits like Texas, Southern Cal. These schools just have That's where football lives, man. Football is bred in the South, in Texas, in Southern Cal. That's football, man.
You, unbeknownst to yourself, set up a question I wanted to ask you 2 weeks ago.
Oh, no way.
Now I'm going to ask it now.
Impressive.
All right. For the starting next year, for the next 10 years, who's going to win the most Big Ten titles? It's going to be Ohio State, USC, Michigan State combined, or the field?
USC.
Okay.
In the next 10 years, USC.
Okay.
I don't think you guys even understand USC. So Stubby 1085 in the chat says USC isn't out recruiting Ohio State, buddy. Let me just help you a little bit. They're going to out recruit every team, not only in the Big Ten, in the fucking country.
Oh God.
USC as a brand, if they go on and win 10, 11 games this year, hell, even if they win the Pac-12 year one, good luck. They beat Utah this year, they're running the table. They might even be a college football playoff team this year. I don't expect them to be, but they could be. I expect them next year easily to be a favorite to be in the college football playoff. Easily. You have Caleb, year one, you get the Biletnikoff winner, Caleb Williams, along with a few other dynamic wide receivers, and Lincoln Riley. USC's going to put up 40, 45 a game easily. Easily. You know, what Urban Meyer did to Ohio State is what Lincoln Riley will do for USC in the Big Ten. I'm still not sold on this Ryan Day Ohio State. I don't like that they're not as physical as they used to be under Urban Meyer.
And they're not comfortable with that at Ohio State.
At all. They were much more physical in the trenches with Urban Meyer than they are under Ryan Day. And I think it's going to bite them in the ass. You saw it bite them last year when they played Michigan. They could not win a single battle in the trenches. For all that talent, it didn't matter. USC, watch out.
All right, another 10-year question.
All right.
What would in the first 10 years in the Big Ten, what will USC's record be against Ohio State?
6-4.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah?
Yep. What would their record be against Michigan?
Their record against Michigan?
10 years, the first 10 years in the league.
7-3.
Okay. You're going to say that too. But
I don't know what to do with Harbaugh. I don't know how long Harbaugh is going to be here. And I think when Harbaugh leaves, Michigan is going to enter a ugly 4 or 5 year stretch where it's not going to be pretty. For all the knocks on Harbaugh you want, he brought this program back to where they thought they should be. I think that matters a little bit. So I don't know what Michigan looked like after Harbaugh.
Yeah, you don't know.
Lincoln Riley is overrated. Is he? Is he? Is he overrated? Here. Guys, I'm gonna say this one time, and when you hear this, I want you to tell me that this is overrated. Okay?
Here it comes.
Lincoln Riley, 12-2, 12-2, 12-2, 9-2, 10-2. Overrated? Really? Overrated? Lincoln Riley.
That's what they said.
12-2, 12-2, 12-2, 9-2. In a 3-year stretch, his first 3 years as the coach of Oklahoma. His first 3 years. He had more 12-win seasons than you have in your entire program's history. Shut the fuck up. Lincoln Riley's overrated.
Here's the other thing that you have to factor in. A lot of times, a coach is great, but if you put that coach in a certain spot, he becomes greater. Like if Lincoln Riley was taking over at Washington State, wouldn't be that worried about him. But he's taking over at USC. You're putting two blue bloods together. So that makes him even more dangerous, or potentially dangerous.
You guys fascinate me. If Lincoln Riley is overrated, put this in the chat, please. If Lincoln Riley was available today for you to hire at the University of Michigan, at the University of Michigan State, Ohio State, forget your coaches now. You have a vacancy. He's available. Who else in the country would you pursue? Nick Saban wouldn't be available. Dabo Swinney wouldn't be available. None of the coaches you think... Lincoln Riley is available for some reason. You don't hire him?
Well, let me rephrase that question for you, brother.
You run to the podium announcing that you hired him as your head coach. You give him your wife a 15-year contract, a private jet. Hell, you give him your kids too. You give him any and everything to bring him here. Because you know, every year, you're going to be an 11-plus win team competing for a national title spot.
Let me rephrase that question for people.
Go for it.
Even if you have Jim Harbaugh as your head coach, and you're the athletic director of the University of Michigan, and Lincoln Riley's people come to you and say, hey, I know you got a coach, but Lincoln wants to coach at Michigan.
I would kick Harbaugh out the door tomorrow.
Well, you can't kick him out the door, but would you like to kick him out the door?
I would love to kick him out of the door.
All right,
absolutely.
There you go. All right.
Absolutely. Outside of Nick Saban, Kirby Smart, and Dabo, who else? Who else? National championship winning coaches. There aren't many. There aren't none, actually. Funny. Mm-hmm. And you would pass on Lincoln Riley. Boy, aren't you a dumb fuck?
Or it could be loyal. It could be loyalty.
Dumb, not loyalty.
Or dumb.
Stupidity.
One or the other.
Just plain stupidity. Sorry. Could Urban Meyer? I would love Urban Meyer, but his situation now, you're really not sure. Urban Meyer's one of the greatest college coaches ever. I think he's top 5. So, one at Florida, one at Utah.
If you hire Urban Meyer, I predict you'll
win
for 3. But you're going to keep him for 3 to 4 years.
But you'll win a national title. You could almost guarantee that. You'll be to multiple college football playoffs. I know with Lincoln Riley, I'll get to the college football playoffs every other year, minimum. That's not elite. Unreal.
It's overrated.
Overrated. What has Lincoln Riley won? I don't know. The Big 12 multiple times, multiple college football playoff appearances. What has he won? 12 wins, 12 wins, 12 wins, 9 wins, 10 wins. What has he won? I know. You know what's funny? I literally asked this question Friday. If you drop Cade McNamara and Lincoln Riley, or excuse me, Cade McNamara and J.J. McCarthy, and Alabama, forget all their quarterback, the whole quarterback room is wiped away.
Okay.
You drop them both at Alabama, Georgia, Clemson, Oklahoma, Texas, USC, anywhere in Ohio State, anywhere in the country, hell, even Michigan State. You want to take a guess at who would start? Fucking Michigan fans.
You know who would disagree with you?
What a bunch of cocks.
Okay.
Unbelievable.
Slow down. Buzzsaw, you know who would disagree with you? The Big Ten Network. The Big Ten Network is on, they're doing their tour of the Big Ten. And during their analysis, praised McNamara, said Michigan's practices were amongst the best that they've seen. And they said from what they saw, McNamara was slightly ahead of J.J. McCartney. Now, I don't know if they said that because that's what they saw or if that was pounded in them by the Michigan coaches that
I
know what I'm saying?
I just don't like this idea that he's an overrated coach. Bitch, please tell me overrated. Goes to USC, a trash program for the longest time now, ever since Pete Carroll left. And they were the pinnacle of the sport. He comes in one transfer, gets Caleb Williams, the Biletnikoff winner, suddenly transformed this team from a pathetic, nobody cares about team, it's a dying brand, to, oh my God, USC is going to contend for the national championship for the next 5 years. That's the conversation we're having about Lincoln Riley.
You just did a t-shirt. Bitch, please.
Bitch, please. Bitch, please. Jim Harbaugh comes to town. Oh, can he beat Ohio State? Can he win the Big Ten? Bitch, they're talking about national titles over at USC. Shut the hell up. Talk to me about overrated. Suck my dick. We'll be right back. When we get back, get your questions in the chat. Mailbag. Mailbag time. Get your questions in the chat, but before we do, Fish, you got to tell everybody about our good friends over at the Academy of Warren.
The Academy of Warren, brand new state-of-the-art sports dome field house that has regulation-sized basketball court, volleyball court, soccer field, also can be used for good old 7-on-7 football. The kindergarten through 8 program that features AM/PM latchkey, small classroom-sized learning suite, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, academy games, and K-8 athletics. Enroll today at academyofwarren.net.
It took exploring 50 different formulas and hosting countless taste tests, but we believe Gypsy Vodka is the smoothest vodka on the market. Don't believe us? Ask the owners.
We're Mike and Adam Kazanowski with High Five Spirits Distillery. We're in close to about 1,200 locations throughout Michigan. We wanted to create a brand that was geared more towards freedom, love, adventure, and at the end of the day, we really wanted to tell a story that inspired other people to take risk, follow their dreams, whatever that might be.
Hey, it's Scott from the Woodward Bet Show. Hey, it's Monday. We don't like Mondays. But you know what we do like? We do like some fantasy football, and we like fun coupons. We got you covered over here at 4:30 at the Woodward Bets YouTube page. You guys also got to make sure you get over to that App Store and download oddstrader.com. It's got live scoring, play-by-play updates, the best place to check all the odds sports books right in the palm of your hands. But hey, let's get to them fun coupons. We got a big matchup in MLB today, Yankees versus Mets. Max coming into town. Sounds good to me. You know what? I'm rolling with the Yankees on the money line and the over. oddstrader.com. Woodward Bets. Check it out.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
When you need apparel, there's only one place to go. Big Frog in Novi. With no setup fees, no artwork fees, no minimum, and a 24-hour turnaround, you can have your whole team outfitted in no time. Embroidery, direct-to-garment, vinyl, and screen printing, Big Frog has it all in all the styles you want. So whether it's a sports team, fundraiser, school event, or corporate needs, Big Frog is your one-stop destination. Visit bigfrog.com/Novi or call 844-4-BIG-FROG.
For Detroit, by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
Alrighty, our good friends over at Alta. At Alta Time Matters, Alta Equipment has everything you need to get the job done. You have a big project this weekend. Labor Day is coming up. You might want to get your house ready for the winter time. We have snow in Michigan, sadly. Alta Rents has you covered. Call them today at 844-GO-TO-ALTA today. 844-GO-TO-ALTA today.
Oh, God. Great. Oh, God. Oh, God. All right. Oklahoma will win a natty before USC just because, or simply due to Lincoln Riley can't and never has value defense. Stubbs, congratulations. You are officially the dumbass of the day. Buddy, Nick Saban doesn't value defense anymore. He literally came out and told you, I can't win because of my defense anymore. I have to go out and get exceptional wide receiver talent. I have to go out and get exceptional quarterback talent. I can't win with A.J. McCarron, Derrick Henry, Mark Ingram, along with a solid defense and hold a team to 3 points in a national title game anymore. It doesn't happen anymore. Lincoln Riley doesn't focus on defense, so he's not going to win a national title.
Bro, I got a question.
What's up?
Who in that league prioritized defense?
Who? What do you mean?
What team prioritized defense in the Big 8 or Big whatever that stupid conference is?
The Big 10?
No, not the Big 10. No, the Big 8 or
Big 12?
Big 12.
Nobody had a defense in the Big 12.
That's the way things roll down there. You just can't outscore people.
Oh, God. I don't know. I can't help people. I can't help people at all. Let's see. Adam, when are you going to decide what college football team you're going to cheer for? This Friday, I'll be either in Ann Arbor or East Lansing. You guys will have to find me. We'll be recording a promo video that will air on Monday. So Monday the 29th, I'll be announcing what school I'll be rooting for this season. It's going to be fun. How many new players will it take for the Lions to have a top 10 defense? Jesus Christ. Pat, that's a overwhelming question. A lot. They need an elite level corner. They need two new linebackers, or they need one of their linebackers to become a stud. It doesn't even need to be elite. And then they need all their defensive linemen to work out. Levi, who has been a bust so far. Aleem needs to hit. Aiden Hutchinson needs to be one of the 3-5 best pass rushers in the NFL. It's time. It's not really an amount of players. Let's see what other questions we have in the chat. Georgia won a national title without a quarterback. Really? Really? You dumb motherfuckers. Like, I can't believe I have to sit up here every day and deal with you people. Stetson Bennett. How many touchdowns do you think he threw last year? Oh! I know.
29.
29. How many did Cade McNamara throw last year? Oh, wait. 16. How many interceptions? 6 and 7. Not much of a difference.
Okay, let's forget the stats. What are Georgia fans bitching about?
What did Georgia do with their passing offense against Michigan? They opened up their butthole and they fucking fisted them. That's what they did. And they threw for over 300 yards against Michigan.
Baby boy. But they were Georgia. If you're better at just about every position, you can do stuff like that. When you can take Aiden Hutchinson out of the game, you can do stuff like that.
You can only do stuff like that when you don't have to worry about the other team throwing the football. How about we start there?
How about you just were overwhelmed Michigan in talent?
Whatever.
Well, you got to acknowledge that too. I know that you like to come down on Mr. McNamara, but
here we
you
go.
have
We
to
got
admit,
Mr. Tough Guy in the chat. Adam is so loose with the insults. I wonder if he does that face to face with people. Bitch, shut up. Shut the hell up. Bitch.
I can actually confirm he does that face to face.
Like insane. No, because the very same people won't walk up to me and say, "Oh, well, Cade McNamara is an amazing quarterback." You wouldn't, because I would roast you on the spot, you dumbass. Mailbag, Adam, what are your thoughts on John? Shut the hell up. John Comiskey, actually, you know what? No thoughts. It was good though. I can't say anything bad about him. Not defending Cade, but but to be real, he didn't have anyone near George Pickens' talent. Excuse me? He had one of the better offensive lines. Eric All, who's one of the better tight ends this year and last year in college football.
He had one of the best offensive lines in the Big Ten. That offensive line against Georgia was overwhelmed.
Georgia won with a third-string quarterback. Dude, you guys have revisionist history on this one. Third-string quarterback. Just because their original quarterback didn't play, I forget his name, JT Daniels. All right, Stetson Bennett won that job after he got hurt. He played very well. Stop it. Can you be considered an elite coach without winning a national championship? Well, Frank, if that's the case, then there are only 3 current coaches in college football that are elite. Kirby Smart, Nick Saban, and Dabo Swinney. There are no other elite coaches. That's fine. But that means Jim Harbaugh, Ryan Day, Mel Tucker, Lincoln Riley, none of these coaches are elite. They're just good or very good. However you want to define them. I don't know. It's up to you.
Right. And plus, Alabama created a dynasty. So, yeah, they're blocking. You know, when you come up with your Final Four, one of them is going to be Alabama. And Alabama's in a position where they can lose a game and still get in. Other teams can't do that. They have to finish
This is
unbeaten.
insane. Chat's Chris William in our TikTok thread says, and Harbaugh is better overall coach than Riley. Is he, though? Is he?
No.
Can you actually definitively say that? I don't think you can. That's so wrong. And don't talk to me about, well, the Big 12 is the Big 10. Excuse me. Have you looked at Michigan's schedule this year? They should walk through every team this year, just like Oklahoma would under Lincoln Riley up until Ohio State. Stop it. Unbelievable. Let's see what other questions.
And,
How do you think...
know what? They're talking about how tough Michigan's schedule is. No, Michigan has a 3-game schedule every year.
Yep. Michigan State, Ohio State, and typically either Iowa or Penn State, depends who's good.
Right.
How do you think Amani Bates will do at EMU this year?
I think he will put up a lot of numbers. I think he would do well. He's in a better position at Eastern Michigan than he would be if he went to Michigan State. I'll just put it to you that way. I think he'll do very well. And the other thing is they're going to play Eastern's going to play Michigan at Little Caesars Arena. So is that must-watch game there?
We'll see.
So we can all go see it.
Terry, last one. Adam, Terry, me and my uncle are having a debate on if Jameson Williams and if he'll be the number 1 wide receiver with the injury. And yes, I know that torn ACL is not bad anymore. Help us, please. T. Foss, could you chime in? Yeah, I mean, he has to be the number 1 eventually. That's why you drafted him.
In 2023.
Yeah, but not this year. No, I think he'll come out, have hopefully some good moments. Who knows? Maybe he explodes. I don't know.
He can have some big moments, but once again,
him.
there's a pecking order with wide receivers. Jared Goff, who's going to be the quarterback,
will be more comfortable than with TJ, with Amon-Ra, with Josh Reynolds. He'll be more comfortable with Chark because they've had reps together. He hasn't had reps with Jameson. I would say put Jameson on the burner for next year, and hopefully next year's his breakout year. That's it for today's show. Thank you for all of you on TikTok.
Are we done already?
Thank you for everybody at home watching on YouTube. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe. If you're watching on TikTok, make sure you follow us on TikTok, of course. We'll see all of you tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day. Big T Energy coming up at 11. Of course, the bottom line from 2 to 4. And the heavyweights, 5 to 7. We'll see you guys all tomorrow.
Bye.
No.